What's up, real world? Twisted Luck. I hope everybody's good. Thanks for being here. We're gonna get a little bit into that bread test, that experiment, the food experiment we're doing. We're gonna check on that real quick, and we're gonna add something else to it also. So we're gonna do that in just a minute. It's the 5th of July, so I hope everybody had a good 4th of July. Hope it was awesome. We had a good one. It absolutely kicked my ass, though. I don't know if it was the heat, the Florida humidity, or the stuff that's in our air that we've been talking about. And yesterday was like the hottest day we had. The humidity was insane, and I was out in all day. I started early afternoon just getting things set up, and then all day doing things and cooking out and doing fireworks and stuff until late at night. So I was out in all day, and it just wore me out today. So that's why I didn't make a regular video today. I just didn't have the energy. I was like, I don't wanna. So but we had a good time. I hope everybody else did too. We did fireworks and stuff like we always do. We did have a crowd chaser, which I had just told my wife the other day that she was like, oh, I hope we don't have a crowd chaser like the incident that happened before. And I said, no, it should be okay. I've only had that happen like twice in 10 years, so the chances of it happening like back to back last time and this time probably won't happen. But then I wish it was on video, but it's not on video. But yeah, we did have one. It was one of those 500-gram repeaters that shoots mortar shells out, up into the sky, and then boom, boom. Well, they blew out the side, so crowd chaser speaks for itself, right? It chased us, and I got hit with a few of them. The first one I actually took right to the chest, and it feels like a tennis ball, like a tennis ball shooter machine, because it hits you real hard. That's kind of what it feels like, but it's also hot because it's flaming. Right, and then it blows up too, so not good. So yeah, the first one blew out, hit me right in the chest. The crowd started to run, and my instinct, I just go right to the kids, and I put my back towards the fireworks, right, and I hug the kids facing me, into me, so they're blocked from it at least. And I took another one to the back of the head and one to the back, so that was a good time. But that was it, just one incident. Other than that, everything went great, and it was a good time, and I hope you did too. So we're going to get into this food experiment. We're going to check in on the stuff those breads that we packaged before and the other ones. We're going to see what they look like now. We did it on July 1st, and it's only July 5th now. But typically you would think you would see some sort of change by now. If you remember, we've got one open in a Ziploc, we've got one closed in a Ziploc, then we've got the other packages that they came in, and we're going to see something new here. We're going to add something into the mix real quick that I think might also be interesting. So let's check that out real quick. All right, so you remember these. You saw the other video. These are familiar. We marked them 7-1 closed and 7-1 open. And here's the packages they came from. This one, if you remember, was a brand new package. It had never been opened. This one was like May. May was the expiration date. This one was April. And these two come from here. There was only a little bit of this left, so we're just going to check in on this one. This was April, so that one's super old. So first, let's go with the closed one from July 1st. Yeah, this feels exactly the same still. So look, you see the dents it's putting in it. So like I said before, it still feels moist as if it's fresh baked. Right? This feels literally no different than it did before. It looks no different than it did before. And remember, we did this on 7-1. It's only 5 days right now, but that's April, right? April, May. No, that one's May. April, May, June, July. We're in July now. So this still looks and feels like it was just freshly baked. Something ain't right. And I'm going to make some comments about that in a minute in response to what some other people said. All right, so this one is the open one. Surely, it's getting air in there. We should be seeing something. Oh my God, this one feels exactly the same. That's not stale. This is open to air. This one feels exactly like the closed one. Like, no joke. This feels, it's not hard. It's not stale, it's not crusty. That's insane. That's not normal. This is not good. These ones, obviously we know what that's going to... Oh, I just closed it. I'm going to keep that one open. Now, we're going to check back in on it later, see if anything happens. This one, we'll check this one out since we have no examples of it yet. This one is like 2 months old now. See if we can look down in there. Have a look down in there. Take one of these out. Yeah, it's exactly the same. This is bred from April that we're looking at on July 5th. This looks, feels, look, see how it leaves the indent as if it's still just completely fresh. Why doesn't our bread mold anymore? That's my thing. You know, this is just something I noticed by mistake. We know all sorts of things are going into the foods that we have to be aware of. But like I said before, this was something fairly new that I started noticing, that I was like, hey, what the hell? How come when I went to get hamburger rolls, I found some from like a month ago and there's no mold on them yet? Because they would always get mold on them. Now, we have this. So these are, I want to see if there's going to be a difference in these. These are bakery rolls, baked in the bakery. And the sell-by date is today, July 5th, 2023. So we expect that these should still be good, right? As they do appear to be. So we're going to do the same thing. We're going to put these in a Ziploc. And one closed, one open. I'll probably just put one in each, I guess. And we'll see what happens. We'll date it 7/5. Rolls. Open. And rolls 7/5 closed. And let me know what you think. You think we're going to see a difference with these store baked ones? Or I'm honestly not sure. That's why I want to find out. And you know, we get a lot of three-letter agencies looking out for us, right? So you would think you don't have to do tests at home for yourself. But we're noticing all sorts of disturbing things that indicate that things aren't food. And like I said, I feed raccoons and possums and stuff every night at home. And a lot of these animals recently are denying these breads. Maybe not this one, but some of these breads. The crows even. Like I said, at night, whatever the animals don't finish in the morning, the crows finish. They won't touch this stuff. Why? Like we said, because they're smarter than people. And they go to it and they're like, well, hell, that's not food. So we're leaving that one open. Yeah, let's have a close look at them first, right? I'll take the other one back out too. I forgot to do that. Close look at it. It's, feels like a roll should feel. Everything's normal. Close that one. Seal it up tight. Let's get a good look at this one real quick, just so we can say we did. So nobody can come back later and be like, oh, it was already like that. You didn't show us the bottom. Feels normal. So we leave that one open. And, we'll keep this and we'll check at these two. Just, we'll replicate how you normally would store these. They expire today. So we'll see what happens. So honestly, I wasn't exactly sure how much interest there would be in this experiment when I first did it, but I'm curious, so I'm going to do it, and I know some people will be, so that's why I did it. There was more interest than I thought, so that's awesome. And so at least one person was like, nothing new here, this is normal. But it's not normal, right? If it was normal, like I explained in the other video, I wouldn't be doing the video because it would have just been normal and it would have been nothing that stood out to me. And talking around with my family, my wife and stuff, before I made the video, was something I was paying attention to for a little while because I noticed it and I was like, well, what the hell's going on here? And then I decided to make the video. But most people also are saying, yeah, you're right. I've been noticing and wondering the same thing recently. Some people said the past few months, past 6 months roughly. And it's about what I'm saying too. I don't know exactly the time frame. I don't remember because it's not something I paid attention to all the time. I just know that if you didn't use your bread in time, whatever random breads, hot dog rolls, hamburger buns, whatever, you would go to get one, and damn it, it's a moldy one, and you're like, and sometimes if you're super unlucky, you won't notice it until you've eaten some of it, and that sucks, right? I've been there. So if I just made you dry heave, I'm there with you. I'm dry heaving with you, because I've done the same thing. So most people are noticing the same thing, and we know, like I said, that things are going into our foods, bad things are going into our foods that we have to be aware of. We always have to, we wish we could trust these three-letter agencies, but unfortunately, they say it's safe and we see otherwise, right? They say it's natural, we see otherwise. So we have to stay on top of these things. So, I mean, we get into so many damn things, but we have to, because the people that we allow to be in charge of these things, to look out for us, aren't doing it. The thing is, this has gone on too long. Like everything else, those people, all these agencies, serve us. We don't serve them. So how could they possibly be doing things against us, or how we don't want it? Because we've allowed it for a long time, and we continue to allow it. Things have to change, but it's scary. Our food, our water, our air, everything else, right? So this is an experiment that we're definitely gonna keep checking in on. I'm curious about these new baked breads, if they might be a little bit different. My wife thinks that it may be different. She thinks she remembers seeing more recently some fresh baked bread, like from the bakery, mold, but we haven't noticed the store-bought bread molding. So some people might think, so what? This is not a dumb thing, because that means there's a big change in the food that we are consuming. Something has changed. Food should go bad. It's supposed to. You expect it. This is why they have expiration dates and use-by dates. So why months later are we looking at food as if it just came out of the oven? That shouldn't be. And it's not just bread. Bread's just an example we're using at the moment. Any other suggestions, or if anybody has anything that they've noticed too that you'd like to see us get into, we'll get into it together. Let me know in the comments, and if some people have left already ideas, I'll get to them and we'll check them out. We'll talk about them. But yeah, we'll do the experiments for all of us to see at the same time. So I appreciate you. Share your thoughts, and we will definitely come back and check on this again. And let me know if you think there'd be a difference in the bakery bread. Thanks for being here. I appreciate you. Twisted Luck Truth. I'll see you soon.